Hey there! I know this isn't exactly how we want to see each other, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit of something to help make this a little bit easier. I know we can't be all together in Miss Mac's actual classroom, so I'm hoping every day to post a little video of a little chapter reading for each of you guys to hopefully make things a little bit easier on you. So the first book we're going to read is called Positively Pooh, and it's about one of our favorite bears. So every day I'm going to read a chapter to you guys and hopefully put a little positivity in your day. So the first chapter is called For Your Inner Bear. Allow enough time for a morning wash. Roo was washing his face and his paws in the stream, while Kanga explained to everybody proudly that this was the first time he had ever washed his face himself. And Owl was telling Kanga an interesting anecdote full of long words like encyclopedia and rotor-dotter-run, to which Kanga wasn't listening. I don't hold with all this washing, grumbled Eeyore. This modern behind-the-ears nonsense. What do you think, Pooh? When did you last have a thorough checkup? Let's have a look at you, said Pooh. So Eeyore stood there, gazing sadly at the ground, and Winnie the Pooh walked around him for once. Why, what's happening to your tail? He said in surprise. What has happened to it? Said Eeyore. It isn't there. Are you sure? Well, either a tail is there or it isn't there. You can't make a mistake about it, and yours isn't there. Then what is? Nothing. Find an exercise to suit you. Balancing on 3 legs, he began to bring his 4th leg cautiously up to his ear. I did this yesterday, he explained, as he fell down for the 3rd time. It was quite easy. But don't try too hard. Let the hums get you. Poetry and hums aren't things which you get. They are things which get you. And all you can do is go where they can find you. And there's little Pooh in the tree. Stop to pass the time of day. I make it 17 days come Friday since anybody spoke to me. It certainly isn't 17 days, come Friday, explained Eeyore. And today's Saturday, said Rabbit, so that would make it 11 days. And I was here myself a week ago. Not conversing, said Eeyore. Not first one and then other. You said, hello, and flashed past. I saw your tail in the distance, and I was meditating my reply. I had thought of saying, what? But of course, it was then too late. Well, I was in a hurry, replied Rabbit. Think about all the exciting things that are going to happen today, particularly on Monday mornings. When you wake up in the morning, Pooh, said Piglet at last, what's the first thing you say to yourself? What's for breakfast? Said Pooh. What did you say, Piglet? I say, I wonder what's going to happen that's exciting today, said Piglet. Pooh nodded thoughtfully. It's the same thing, he said. Always have a plan B. What do I look like? You look like a bear holding on to a balloon. Not, said Pooh anxiously. Not like a small black cloud in a blue sky? Not very much. Ah, well, perhaps from up here it looks different. And, as I say, you can never tell with bees. Reduce headaches. Here's Edward Bear coming down the stairs now. Bump, 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 bump. On the back of his head behind Christopher Robin. It is, as far as he knows, the only way of coming down the stairs. But sometimes he feels that there really is another way. If he could stop bumping for a moment and think of it. And then he feels perhaps there isn't. There's always another way. That is not the way down the stairs. Be positive about meeting new people. Hello, Eeyore, said Pooh. This is Tigger. What is? Said Eeyore. This, explained Pooh and Piglet together. And Tigger smiled his happiest smile and said nothing. Eeyore walked all the way around Tigger one way, and then turned around and walked all the way around the other way. What did you say it was? He asked. Tigger. Ah, said Eeyore. He's just come, explained Piglet. Ah, said Eeyore again. He thought for a long time and then said, When is he going? Try singing to warm your soul. They were out of the snow now, but it was very cold. And to keep themselves warm, they sang Pooh's song right through 6 times. Piglet doing the tidally palms and Pooh doing the rest of it, and both of them thumping on the top of the gate with pieces of stick at the proper places. And in a little while, they felt much warmer and were able to talk again. Everything in moderation. Pooh always liked a little something at 11 o'clock in the morning, and he was very glad to see Rabbit getting out the plates and mugs. And when Rabbit said, honey or condensed milk with your bread, he was so excited that he said, both. And then, as to not seem greedy, he added, but don't bother about the bread, please. It all comes, I suppose, he decided, as he said goodbye to the last branch, spun around 3 times, and flew gracefully into the goose bush. It all comes of liking honey so much. Oh, help! He crawled out of the goose bush, brushed the pickles from his nose, and began to think, think, think. You can have too much of a good thing. But modesty is the best policy. But Pooh's mind had gone back to the day when he saved Piglet from the flood, and everybody had admired him so much. And as that he didn't often, he thought he would like it to happen again. And suddenly, just as it had come before, an idea came to him. Owl, said Pooh, I have a thought of something. Absolute and helpful bear, said Owl. Pooh looked proud at being called a stout and helpful bear, and said modestly, he just happened to think of it. Learn new things and be inspired. Suddenly, Christopher Robin began to tell Pooh about some of the things people called kings and queens, and some things called factors, and a place called Europe, and on an island in the middle of the sea where no ships came, and how you make a suction pump, if you want to, when knights were knighted, and what comes from Brazil. And Pooh, his back against one of the 60-something trees, and his paws folded in front of him, said, oh, and I didn't know, and thought how wonderful it would be to have a real brain which could tell you things. And by, Christopher Robin came to an end of things and was silent, and he sat there looking out over the world and wishing it wouldn't stop. Always savor every moment. What do you like doing best in the world, Pooh? Well, said Pooh, what I like best? And then he had to stop and think, because although eating honey was a very good thing to do, there was a moment just before you begin to eat it in which was better than when you were, but he didn't know what it was called. Tomorrow we will read chapter 2 of some more positive things to think about, according to Pooh and Tigger and Eeyore and Christopher Robin. I hope you are safe and healthy. Miss Mac misses you very much. Mr. Sam misses you very much, and so does Miss Robin. Until next time.